FatDag is a Weight Watchers leader in Indianapolis, Indiana. However, the views and opinions expressed during this podcast are his own. They do not represent the views of Weight Watchers. And now, here's your host and wingman, FatDag.
Cheers. I am your host, FatDag. You're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on why. I say that, you know what? That's kind of crazy. I looked down in the middle of the word why is in the So I was doing it from memory and I looked down and the whole word jumped out of me. I need to do this more regularly. I am your host, FatDag. You're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, all at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 278. And hopefully you're recognizing that the frequency is kicking back up. That was the game plan. I told you that was on my radar to do that. So here we are, 2 in 1 week. You know, what's up with that? And so really good to see all of you on Facebook. I appreciate all the email, all the text, all the ways that you reach out. It means so much to this community. It means so much to me to let me know that this is helping you find some inspiration and motivation on your journey. In that lane, I got a couple of requests for you. I'm looking for specifically. I want to do a few episodes now on lifetime members who are multiple years of being a lifetime member, multiple years of being a member who's at goal, and then any significant milestones that you've hit along your journey. I think at this point in our journey, we're coming up on the October, November, December timeframe. It's the time when many of us either if we haven't started, we certainly aren't going to. Not a lot of new people join and start a new journey October, November, December timeframe. At this point, most people just say, screw it, we'll wait until January. So I want to kick off the next 3 months of nothing but, oh my goodness, I've done this for multiple years and I'm a true success story. I'm multiple years at goal, multiple years under goal, multiple years as lifetime, down 50 pounds, down 75 pounds, down 25 pounds, whatever your major celebration is. I want to hear about it. I want you to tell me how awesome you are. I think it's okay to brag. You know, there's a lot of people that aren't exactly sure, but they haven't done what we're trying to do. So they don't understand how powerful bragging is. So you have every bit of right to brag and tell me how awesome you are. In turn, what I'll do is I'll tell the entire community how awesome I think you are. And then what'll happen is someone will get jealous. They always do. Someone will get jealous of the amount of success that you're having and the amount of fun that you're having. And they'll get so mad at you that they'll do it too. How fun is that? And then what'll happen is they'll turn into a bragger as well, and they'll get it. So I want you to, if you're a lifetime at goal or a major milestone in your journey, simply on air at fatdag.com. Shoot that in tonight. Take a minute to tell me how awesome you are. Let's get that thing rolling so that October, November, December, we just have multiple iterations of people who are just absolutely rock stars and getting it done. So thank you for doing that. A couple things I'm done for you guys that I think is awesome is this Sunday, which would be the 30th of September. I think that's the date, whatever the Sunday around there is I'm hosting the first ever webinar. And we're going to work on some goal setting. Same kind of concept. I want October, November, December to be your best months ever. And so I'm working on either, I haven't decided if I'm going to go weekly or monthly, but at least monthly. We're going to do a webinar where we're going to all come in together. We're going to grab our pens. We're going to grab our paper. We're going to work together to figure out what kind of game plan can we set for the month of October. I got some ideas that I want to kick out at you. So that's going to happen this Sunday. It's 4 days from the time this is being released. So you'll be able to hear that. I'm releasing it to the Patreon community. The software I'm using to host the webinar certainly limits the amount of seats that are available. So I want to restrict it to that community. The good news is you can be a part of that community for just about as little as $1 a month. You certainly could do more, but $1 a month will get you a seat into that webinar. You could do it just for once. Check it out if you like it, then stick around. If not, no worries. The other offer I've done into that same community is opened up my calendar and started taking phone calls, one-on-one, just you and I talking back and forth. And you tell me what's going on in your life. I tell you what's going on in my life. We share some ideas. We share some tips. But we talk as people. We get rid of the lights. We get rid of the camera. We get rid of the microphones. And we just say, Hi, it's Mike. How are you? Those are amazing conversations. For those of you who I've had the chance to talk to, about a dozen of you this week or so, I tell you, you leave me pretty inspired and pretty energized. I hope I do the same back to you. But it's just a fun conversation, down and dirty, real and raw. Inside the Patreon app, you can find the link to jump on that calendar. So that's what's going on there. Like I said, that's what keeps the show going, is your support. So I found ways to now provide a little bit of value back to encourage you to want to jump up and do that. So if you haven't already, please hop in there. Like I said, patreon.com/FatDag will get you there, or simply go to fatdag.com, click on the Wise Advice podcast and click Become a Supporter. That'll launch you in there. A couple nights ago, we released an episode with Susan out of Bakersfield, California. She writes in with an update, and she says, well, I'm updating my struggling letter, which was aired on episode 276. Boy, has it been a long time since I wrote that. Lots has happened, some good, some bad. I had my second knee replacement on June 25th. I didn't recover as fast as the first one. It still hurts a little when I walk too many days in a row, but that will change as time goes on. Now my weight went up even more. I ended up going over the doctor's goal and had to pay twice at weigh-in. It made me so sad, but hey, my attitude has changed a lot since then. I'm up 12 since my very lowest, but I'm slowly making that number shrink. It was up 17 pounds at one point. Clothes were miserably tight, and that's when I had enough. I started listening to episodes that I thought might trigger that new member motivation that was gone from my journey. Lo and behold, I got it back, and I'm happily working the plan and moving my body pain-free. I signed up for my first 5K since the new knees on October 12th, and I've even treated myself to a Fitbit now that I'm pain-free for getting back to lifetime. Let me tell you, it's possible to return after many derailments along the way. If you're struggling, know that all things are possible. Thanks for being there for us, FatDag. You are the greatest, Susan. Susan, always a pleasure to hear from you. It was so fun walking with you in San Francisco. I remember having this conversation very vividly. And I really do. I remember. And I remember the incredible inspiration you were then with your knees that weren't in great shape. And you did it, so I'm excited for you now that you get a little bit of a new lease on life, and your knees now are enabling you to just really get out and take advantage of what nature offers. And that's the ability to just lace up some shoes and just get outside and go for a little bit of a walk. And then in your case, signing up for a 5K, which is even more incredible. You've got to feel pretty impressed with yourself that you have done this, right? And so knee replacement is a big deal, but in order to be candidates for that surgery, you have to prove to your doc that you're going to take care of them. And you've done that. And now here you are, you've gone through the surgery, and now you're working yourself way back down to lifetime. And you've completely given yourself that gift of life, and you've changed your life. And so for that, I'm thrilled that you took a moment to update us and to let all those other folks know who are going through this exact same thing, that getting out on the other side is possible. It's just a matter of saying, I'm going to take this one day at a time. I'm going to do my best, whatever my best is, but I'm never, ever giving up on the journey. I'm going to continue to work it. So Susan, good to see you. Tell your husband I said hello, and hopefully we'll get back out to California soon to say hello in person and to go do another 5K. We got smoked out from that one. So very, very cool. Congratulations again to you. Out of Maine, Glenburn, Connie writes in. She says, "Hey, I've listened to your podcast off and on and followed your journey from day one when you asked for wingmen. Thanks for sharing your life with us. I have struggled with finding my why. I have lots of reasons to eat better and to be healthier, but none of them resonated as a motivating why. Yesterday, I was beating myself up for lack of action and a subtle weight gain. I thought back to when I first made Lifetime some 30 years ago. What was my motivation then? Well, duh, my mom had sent a beautiful and expensive skirt that was at least 3 sizes too small. What was she thinking? I was determined to wear that skirt, and I succeeded. It was vanity. I wanted to wear pretty clothes like my mom and my sisters. Truthfully, vanity was my motivation back then. I think I can use it now, too, because I'm still very vain. I admit that it's not my best quality, but it's a part of me, and from now on, I'm putting that part to work. I have finally identified my why." Connie. Connie, I think that is actually pretty awesome. I opened the podcast telling you to brag a little, right? And part of bragging is liking what you look like, liking what you feel like, liking the clothes that you put on. I got zero issue with using vanity as a motivator. Now, certainly, we once that is our motivator, there are some health benefits we're picking up along the way, and we will adjust and adapt to them. But the fact that you want to look good in a pair of clothes, I think that's fantastic. I think that's something we all, whether we're going to admit it or not, we do want to be that person that walks in the room and the whole room goes, "Who's that?" Right? And so, wow, you look great. Those compliments are certainly things that keep us on the journey. What I think is the most important thing in your email, though, is that you end it with saying, "I admit that it's not my best quality, but it's a part of me, and from now on, I'm going to put that to use." How I understand those words that you've written is you understand who you are. And you like the pieces of your journey. You like who you are. And so now, rather than all out, saying there's the qualities of me that I don't like, for instance, what you say is, I'm going to use the qualities to help me get to where I want to go in my goal. And so you're using that. You're understanding who you are, and you're not changing, because you don't change entirely in that regard, right? So you're not going to completely change, but what you're understanding is that you can use that quality to your advantage. And that's what you've done. And I think that's what's the best part of your email is that you understood what it is that's going to motivate you. You've tackled that. You've understood that you can continue to push forward with that as your motivation. You've been there before. You found that success. So you clearly know that you have the ability to make this happen. So Connie, keep up the amazing work. Keep doing what you're doing. And the best part about this is once you get there, we have a whole community of folks that want to see pictures. Post them in the Wise Wingman group. When you put the skirt on, when you buy the fancy clothes, when you look dressed to the nines, take a picture, take a selfie, post it in the Wise Wingman group and say, "I look good, right?" Question mark, question mark, question mark. And hopefully the wingmen will all be obviously resoundingly jump in and say, "Yes, yes, yes, you look great. ... How do you feel? Question mark. I think at that point, the feeling kicks in as well. So when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you look good. It is certainly a double-edged sword that gets you going in the right direction. So Connie, thanks for writing in. Congratulations on figuring out your why. Congratulations for making it happen. And I am excited to wait and walk this journey with you. So keep up the amazing work as well. Out of Weston, Ohio, Lacey writes in, says, "Dear FatDag, I'm writing to you to celebrate a long-time goal, not a WW goal yet, but planning on making it to Lifetime, that I was actually doubting myself. I finally made it to 179 after being stuck at 180 to 184 for about a year, and the scale had just not budged. To be honest, some of it was my fault and not totally being true to the plan. Other reasons are I didn't have my head in the game totally, and I didn't track honestly. I used to be at a size 18 jeans, pushing bigger if I didn't stop myself. Now I'm in a size 14, and those are loose and they're falling down, and I'm not sure if I can get into a size 12 yet, but if I do, that's the smallest that I have worn since I was back in high school. I am so proud of myself and for where I am now versus where I started at. I started at Weight Watchers at my all-time highest weight of 217 pounds, and I'm 2 pounds from a 40-pound weight loss. This makes me want to cry happy tears. I have previously been borderline diabetic, and with losing weight, I have defeated that for a long time, and I've been for over a year now right in the normal range. It runs in my family on both sides, so I was told that I would choose when I get it or if it gets me. It took a long time to really take care of myself. I was focused on the number on the scale versus how my clothes fit, how I feel, and, all the other things that we have all felt at one time once we got there. I had some bad habits, like just taking cookie dough out of the fridge and eating it like a snack, eating tubes of frosting in my car, or 2 or 3 donuts in one sitting. I look back at that now and I think, why did I do that to myself? I'd only made it worse and harder to work it off, and how many times that I did that. I started this back in February 2016, and other people doubted me, and they said I couldn't do it. I kept going on the path because I wanted to prove them wrong and prove that I could do it. Now I'm happy to say that I'm doing this for me, and I don't care what anyone else thinks. I have a great leader and our corner of friends at the meeting every Saturday that I go weigh in with. I have a great family support of my husband that keeps me in check if I like it or not, and close friends that haven't had doubts. I also have a great accountability partner, Kathy. We have stuck together no matter what type of week we have. We communicate every day, multiple times a day. We keep each other going. She has become a close friend to me, like another family member. I've just finally been able to get to my wedding ring to get it past my knuckle. I haven't been able to do that until now. My question for you, though, is that I'm afraid that if I get down into the 170s, that if it creeps back up into the 180s and it doesn't stay there, I hope it's here to stay. How do you get past that feeling, and what did you do? I would love your advice to help me get to my next goal and eventually lifetime. I thank you for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself, and I'm happy to say I'm in the game and I'm not giving up this feeling at all. I just signed up to run a 5K in Maryland in November this year, and I'm training to prepare for it. Thank you for your service, and I wish you good focus. P.S. Lacey says, I passed up a chocolate peanut butter donut today because I looked at my weigh-in and I'm so close to 40 pounds lost soon. Lacey, what an amazing journey you've written. And so, first of all, thank you. Congratulations on your 40-pound weight loss. That doesn't happen on accident. That's all you making it happen and getting it done. So congratulations there. I think one of the fun things about your email is that the mindset has shifted. I love how when you first started this process, the concept was, I'm doing this to prove other people wrong. And so many of us can relate to that, right? For so long, we've been bullied and we've been fat shamed and we've been made fun of, and we just want everyone to know that, you know what, I can lose weight, but you're still going to be mean, right? And so we just want to prove them wrong in that sense. Then, as we start working down that path, we truly don't care what they think. And that's kind of fun to say in a powerful way, is like, I'm living my best life. If you don't get it or you don't understand it, not my issue. And I'm certainly not going to spend time explaining it to you. So while we're friends and while we may be acquaintances or whatever, but I'm not overly concerned about your opinion of me and my journey. I'm more concerned with the things that are concerning me, and that's how I feel, how I look, and how I'm getting it done. And it seems to me you have figured that out. On the positive side to go with that, bordering on that diabetic line, you have now, I've said this a couple times on this show, you have now given yourself a gift. You've given yourself the gift of life. And that's, you can't buy that. As powerful as Amazon is right now, the one thing you can't buy is health. And you've given yourself that. And you've given yourself that by staying true to the game plan, knowing that a 40-pound weight loss is significant, knowing that a tube of peanut butter in your car probably not the best idea for a food, and you've done this naturally. You have completely reinvented yourself. And just before I started this episode tonight, I was texting with a good friend, and we were talking about the requirement needed to completely change your life. And so what we have to understand is that in order to change your life, you've got to change your life. And so there are things that you're doing now every day that you may not want to give up. And I get that. I mean, I do, but we have to understand that these things that we're unwilling to give up are part of a lifestyle that leads us to a place that isn't healthy. So it's not much different than the person who's a smoker that enjoys it, right? We know it's not, there's no health benefit to it, but they get a physical enjoyment out of it, and that is their motivation for not wanting to give it up. So there are things in our lifestyle, each and every one of us, that are not helping us live our best healthy lifestyle, but we enjoy them. So we find a way to justify it into our journey, and we say it makes me happy. At the same point, it makes us unhealthy. Being unhealthy makes us unhappy, but we don't make the direct correlation in that sense, because it's one person removed. So we have to now completely reinvent ourselves. That's what we have to do. So you have to look at your daily list of things that you do, and you have to find out, do they support my new healthy lifestyle or not? If I continue to do this, will I remain under the diabetic levels and remain healthy? If I make changes, if I do something that I'm used to doing that led me to here today, if I continue to do those things, justifying them with a little bit of I deserve this, or I enjoy this, or whatever, then we have to know that we're not giving up that old lifestyle, and that old lifestyle led us here. We have to adopt new lifestyles. That's what we have to do. As hard as that sounds, as painful as that sounds, when we call this not a diet, but a lifestyle, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about finding a different way to live. That's what we have to do. So keep doing what you're doing, and focusing on how you feel is really what I want you to focus on. So as you start creeping down into the 170s and you're teetering between the 170s and 180s, what I can tell you is probably 40 pounds ago, you would have traded everything to be at 180. And so now you're at 170, which is fantastic too, but there isn't a significant difference between those two from a health perspective. And for the most part, it's probably the same pair of pants. So the only difference is the number on the scale. So I don't want you to focus that deep on the number. There is some meaning behind it. There is some correlation behind it, but the reality is, and the things that I want you to focus on is how do you feel? Are you keeping the diabetic docs away? Are you waking up every single morning and getting some exercise in? Are you taking care of your mind? Are you eating properly? Are you truly looking at food as nutrition and getting the best you can in the course of the day? And are you not driving around in your car, with cookie dough and frosting? I'm not an expert by any stretch, and I never have claimed to be, but I'm going to go on a limb here and say, if you're driving in your car eating frosting, probably not the best use of your time, right? And I would venture to say we probably have to have someone go have some sort of intervention. That's, I don't know. Certainly not in a judgmental way, right? Because we've all done things that certainly don't align with our goal. But what I'm getting at is that we recognize things that we do that support our new lifestyle. We recognize things that are in our old lifestyle, and we just have to make the correlation of what am I committed to? Which life would I much rather live? Every single person who's made goal, every single person who's completely changed their life, they've appreciated the journey and they understand how awesome it feels when they get there. So the desire to preserve it relies on you eating better, working out more, however you define that, and taking care of your mental aspect of this journey. Those three things play in pretty significantly. So again, whether it's 179 or 181, not a big deal, really. And so now, programmatically, there's some other concept that you have to worry about. But, I think if you check in with your doc and your blood levels are good and everything's good, and I think you and your doc understand way more about this journey in that regard. So continue to check in there. And I don't want you to focus so deeply on the exact number. Find a pair of pants that you like, button them when as long as they continue to fit, you're doing good. Make the adjustments. Again, continue checking with your doctor, continue to get some sort of exercise, continue to run 5Ks, sign up for a 5K a month. When you notice in your calendar, there's no 5Ks, that's when it's time to get back to the lifestyle that you know and preserve and that you want. So congratulations on the amazing journey. Congratulations on passing up the chocolate peanut butter donut. That because you're so close to 40 pounds, you allowed that to motivate you to get you to goal. So congratulations on the amazing success. Keep up the amazing work. It's so fun to celebrate with you. Folks, celebrating is the best part of this journey. I don't care, in a sense, I don't care what it is you want to celebrate. I'm here solely for your ability to let someone else know how awesome you are. I want to celebrate with you. That's the whole reason I started this, I think, or at least it certainly evolved in the middle. But the point I'm driving to is other people need to know that the celebration is part of this journey. And every single one of you, if you're listening right now, every single one of you have something to celebrate. Don't give me that. Don't say, well, no, Mike, I actually don't. No, that's not true. I just started today. I don't have anything to celebrate. No, that's not true. If you can hear me, you have a reason to celebrate. Write in and tell me what it is. And I don't care if the celebration is, I joined today for the very first time. That's a celebration. I don't care if I'm thinking about joining. I don't care if it's one of those, I went grocery shopping, I looked at the healthy stuff, but I just didn't buy it. If you understand this journey enough, you will know that all of those things are celebration. Anything that you do outside of your normal behavior, the normal behavior that led you to this community, that normal behavior, anything you do that is slightly different, that is a change in that behavior, is worth celebrating. We talk about all the time, the non-scale victory. The reason we share those, it's no different than what I'm talking about right now with the celebration. The reason we share those is we want you to add them up. We want you to see that you're able to succeed. We want you to see how awesome you are and how much strength you have to completely change your life. It starts with one decision. The decision right now to say, I'm doing this. I'm redoing this. I'm recommitting. I'm starting over. Whatever term you want to use. If you're listening right now, you have a reason to celebrate. I want to hear it. Share it with me let's share it on the air. Go over to fatdag.com. Click on the Wise Advice podcast. Send in the celebrations, your comments. You know I'm going to work them in as part of the show. And if you email in those celebrations, it just reminds you how proud of you are. And when you're proud of you act different. You think different. People see you differently. And like I said in the show, people get jealous. If you walk into a room with a big old happy smile and you're lighting up the room, people notice. It's infectious. Walk into a room and look for the person who's lighting up the room. Everybody wants to be there. Look on the other side of the room, the person who's miserable, no one's hanging out. be the person in the room that everybody wants to hang out with. You do that by celebrating every single thing you got going right in your life. Do it. Watch how your journey changes. Watch how your mind changes. Write in and tell me all about it. But that's going to do it for this time. Now remember, losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. On behalf of my producers, Heather and Lisa, we wish you good focus. Thank you for listening to the Wise Advice Podcast. Did you know for as little as $1 a month, you can take the next step as a wingman and support the show? Visit FatDag.com, click on Become a Patron today.